In the town of Mingora, in the Swat district of Pakistan's northwestern province, girls are not allowed to get an education as dictated by the Taliban. This was not okay with 11-year-old Malala Yousafzai, who wrote a blog under a pseudonym for BBC, detailing her life under Taliban rule, their attempts to take the control of the valley, and her views on promoting education for girls. The following summer, a New York Times documentary was filmed about her life. A year later, Malala was shot in the head by a member of the Taliban while she was getting on a school bus, but survived and is an even stronger activist now than she ever was. This is a picture of Malala. Yousafzai was born in July of 1997 into a Sunni Muslim family of Pashtun ethnicity. Yousafzai was educated in large part by her father, who was a poet, school owner, and educational activist himself, running a chain of schools. Yousafzai started speaking about educational rights as early as September 2008, when her father took her to Peshawar to speak at a local press club. "How dare the Taliban take away my basic right to education?" Yousafzai asked her audience in a speech covered by newspapers and television channels throughout the region. In late 2008, the BBC website discussed a way of covering the Taliban's growing influence in Swat. Why not find a schoolgirl to blog anonymously about her life there? Their correspondent in Peshawar had been in touch with a local school teacher who happened to be Malala's father, but couldn't find any students who were willing to do it. It was too dangerous. Finally, Yousafzai suggested his own daughter, 11-year-old Malala. At that time, Taliban militants were taking over the Swat Valley, banning television, music, girls' education, and women from going shopping. Malala spoke out saying, "In some parts of the world, students are going to school every day. It's their normal life. But in other parts of the world, we are starving for education. It's like a precious gift. It's like a diamond." Because they were concerned about Yousafzai's safety, BBC editors insisted that she use a pseudonym. Soon after, in Mingora, the Taliban had set a ban that no girls could attend school after January of 2009. The group had already blown up over 100 schools for girls. In February of 2009, the Taliban lifted restrictions on girls' primary education, where there was co-education. But Yousafzai wrote that only 70 pupils attended out of 700 pupils who were enrolled. 3 days after the Taliban struck a peace deal, they announced that they were lifting the ban on women's education, but they had to wear burqas. After Malala's BBC blog ended, Yousafzai and her father were approached by the New York Times about filming a documentary. Following the documentary, Yousafzai was interviewed by multiple television and radio shows. In October of 2011, Yousafzai was nominated for the International Children's Peace Prize. She was the first Pakistani girl to be nominated for the award. Here's a picture of Malala receiving the Peace Award. As Yousafzai became more recognized, the dangers facing her became more pressing. Death threats against her were published in newspapers and slipped under her door. When none of this worked, a Taliban spokesman said that they were forced to act. In October of 2012, a Taliban gunman shot Yousafzai as she was getting on a bus after taking an exam in Pakistan's Swat Valley. She was hit with one bullet which went through her head, neck, and out of her shoulder. This is a picture after Malala was shot. After the shooting, Malala traveled to many different hospitals to receive multiple treatments and surgeries, giving her a more stable condition and saved her life. The assassination attempt received worldwide media coverage and produced an outpouring of sympathy and anger. Protests against the shootings were held in several Pakistani cities the day after the shooting, and over 2 million people signed the Right to Education campaign's petition. Malala stated, "The terrorists thought that they would change my aims and stop my ambitions, but nothing in my life changed except weakness, fear, and hopelessness died and courage was born." Malala continues to be a very well-known activist and feminist at the age of 16. She is an inspiration to all women and people in general to accomplish so much at such a young age. I am truly inspired by Malala because it is easy to believe that we are too young or do not have enough resources to make a difference. But Malala is living proof that you can. She forced her way through all of her oppositions and all the dangers that came with it to get simple education rights that many of us take advantage of. This proves that any of us can make a difference.